most of us would like to increase our income as we progress through our career or as we get older. But the fact is, most people don't. They just don't. Their income is just plateaus. It just doesn't go up after a certain period of time because they've maxed out where, they're just maxed out. That's their ceiling, okay? But it doesn't have to be that way because let's say 5 years back, if I knew that I would have like times 50 of my income what I had 5 years ago, I would not believe it. But I am a believer, and I want to teach you guys 4 things that you can actually do right now to increase your income by times 10. It's doable, okay? It's just 4 things. If you apply these 4 things, you should be golden. So number 1 is the low-hanging fruit. It's ask for the raise. Now, you're thinking, yeah, I can ask for a raise, but I'm not gonna get it. Hear me out, okay? So the reason this is the low-hanging fruit is because you want to go ahead and leverage what you already do and see if you can make more money there. So for example, okay, let's say you want to get a raise at your company. Doesn't matter what you do. You might be a nurse, you might be a doctor, you might work at a retail, at a corporation. Doesn't matter, okay? You might work for some small business. I don't care, okay? You can get a raise, okay? So if you want a raise, most people just say, can I have a raise, okay? And a normal business owner will say, why? Why should I pay you more when I've been paying you the same for all these years and you have not complained? So here's what you need to do in order to get a raise. So number 1 is sit down with your manager, boss, whoever you have, right? And ask them, what can I do in order to bring in more customers? What can I do in order to bring in more revenue to the company? Ask those questions and they'll tell you, you have to do X, Y, Z. And then after that say, okay, if I'm able to do X, Y, Z and bring in this much for the company, or if I'm able to bring in 10 customers in the next 3 months, will I be able to, get a raise? And that sounds like a really like, good deal. So if you're asking a business owner if you bring them more customer, can you get a raise? Definitely you're going to get a raise. So next 2 months, I want you to spend your time and energy actually focusing and getting to that goal. And once you get there, sit back and say, hey, look, I did it. Now, can I get a raise? Now, at that point, they have that obligation to give you the raise because they agreed upon before when you started. So number 1 is ask for a raise because you can instantly get paid more for the same amount of work that you're already doing. That's number 1. Now, number 2 is teach what you know. So most of you guys, you are 25, 30, 35, 40, or even 50 or 60. Guess what? You have something that nobody else has. Guess what that is? It's the experience, okay? I don't care, okay, what business you're in, what do you do? You have a specific experience that you can share and make money. So number 2 is teach what you know. Let's say you have a cleaning business, okay? Now guess what, okay? There are other people who want to go and start a cleaning business too. Why don't you go ahead and record a video just like this one? And again, you don't need a fancy camera like the one I'm using, which you can do. Use your iPhone, use your Android, and pretty much record yourself teaching people what can they do. So in order for you to do that, just go ahead and get a piece of paper out and list out, number 1, introduction. Number 2, requirements. Number 3, naming your business. Number 4 is like, getting customers. Give them the best tips, golden nuggets that you have, okay? And then put that video course on sites like Udemy, okay? And then if you do that, guess what? People will pay big bucks in order to get that information. You know why that is? Because here's the thing, okay? If I can pay somebody to level up and it's gonna save me 6 months, 1 year, even a month, guess what? I'll pay. And if someone is looking to start a business, guess what? They have the money. And if they could pay somebody to skip 6 months or 1 year, guess what? They will do so. They will do so. That's number two, is teach what you know. And number three is this. Okay, a lot of you guys are at a corporation job. Okay, you're working for a big company. Now, here's what you can do to level up. Okay, first you got to ask for that raise. And then this is number three. Okay, number three is get an MBA. Now, again, okay, I'm not the person who usually recommends people to waste money on school, but if you have a corporation job, okay, if you have a job where you got it because you have a bachelor's degree, guess what? Okay, I recommend you getting an MBA, because that's going to help you level up and get into a higher position. So once you get an MBA, 2 years, right? You don't actually have to go to school. You can actually, do it online. You can do it on your own time, okay, and do it without telling anybody at the company, and just do it at an online school. And once you get that done, share that with your employer. Say, hey, look, I have a new credential, okay? Now, if they're not gonna level you up, guess what? Now you have more choices. Now, a lot of companies, big corporations, they actually will even reimburse your tuition fees if you want as well. So you have that education credit that you can get from your employer as well. So use it. Okay. Now, if you don't work for a big corporation, what can you do? So let's say you are working as a marketing agent somewhere, right? What you can do is get those certifications from Google Garage or Coursera. There's so many sites where you can get these certifications and use them as leverage. Okay, so, and these certifications, a lot of them are free, or you have to pay $150, $200, and you should be able to get them. Now, MBA, you gotta pay loads of money depending on which school you go to, but usually if you do it online, your per hour, it's gonna be about $300 to $400. But guess what? Okay, like I said, I don't recommend people going back to college instead of making money, but in this case, I highly recommend it because it can level you up. Now, number four is become unreplaceable. Now, you're like, Satish, how can you become unreplaceable at a company? You can, okay? A lot of people think, hey, people are replaceable. Well, they are. If you do these things, you will be unreplaceable. Nobody's going to be able to replace you. Now, how do you do that? Now, so let's say you work as a support desk, or let's say you work as a receptionist, you work at a retail, something, whatever your job is, right? Now, try to find out complementary, like for example, let's say you're at a reception, right? And let's say you learn sales, okay? That's good. Let's say you work as a nurse, right? And you work as a nurse and you find that you learn communication, right? These are skills that don't require you to pay money or, get certification. You can learn these things for free online, YouTubes and things like that, okay? So the idea is to have multiple skill sets. For example, let's say you are a marketing agent, right? You're a marketing guy for a company, right? What you can do is, you know what you're supposed to do, but why don't you level up by learning copywriting? Why don't you level up by learning Photoshop? Why don't you level up by learning how to edit a video like this? Okay, so the idea is, okay, you have one skill, okay, that's like having a normal knife, right? Let's say you have two skills, you have two knives, okay, you have three skills. You got, I can't create a bunch of hands here, but you get the idea. You want to be that guy or a girl who has these multiple skills, that it just doesn't make sense to get rid of you. It makes sense because they're getting you all your skill for such a cheap price. That's how they should feel, right? And then you'll be unreplaceable. Again, you have to be unreplaceable. It takes about a year or so. And once you do that, again, you are eligible to ask for a raise. Again, you're eligible to level up. So those are four things that you can pretty much do in order to 10x your income. Try these out and let me know how it goes. In the comments, tell me what you do for a living, okay? And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to me, because I create videos about life, business, marketing, sales, and personal finance, and you will enjoy every one of them, okay? My goal with every video is to make sure that once you watch a video, my goal is to make sure that you learn something that you can actually apply in your life, business. Okay, my goal is not to entertain you. My goal is to teach you something valuable that you can that's gonna pay your mortgage, that's gonna help you get better. Okay, that's gonna help that you can teach your kids. That's my goal. And again, if you subscribe, and every morning when I wake up, the first thing I like to do is I like to check how many more subscribers do I have on my YouTube on my phone from my bed, right? And I love it. I love it when I see new people subscribe. So I want to thank you. If you're already subscribed, if not, please consider it by clicking that red button. You know where it is. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you again.